The topics that we primarily cover in this workshop include an overview to architecture in general, microservices architecture, cloud architecture, database architecture, security architecture, and performance. I will go over each of these terms in detail subsequently. Start the workshop by understanding different types of architecture, such as what is enterprise architecture, what is application architecture, what is software architecture, and what is solution architecture, etc. We also cover the artifacts that you usually generate under each of these architectures and the kind of stakeholders that are interested in, and when do we do that, how these are helpful. After understanding different types of architectures, we will discuss the industry standard architecture terminology such as system, stakeholder, concern, etc. We talk about what each of these terms mean and how they are related to each other. This is the terminology you will be extensively using while preparing an architecture document. Next, we talk about system design. This activity primarily involves breaking the system into independent manageable units, popularly known as subsystems. Subsystems are a good candidates for present-day microservices. We create subsystems, create interfaces to the subsystems, and establish the dependencies among the subsystems. The next topic that we take up is SOA, service-oriented architecture. Nowadays, every complex application has an element of SOA. This workshop covers the essential concepts of SOA, the core differences between SOA and the traditional architectures, SOA versus web services versus microservices. We also talk about how a system looks with permutations and combinations of SOA, web services, and microservices. Next topic is ESB, Enterprise Service Bus. ESB is a very important component in present enterprise computing environment. We will talk about ESB and its capabilities and demonstrate its capabilities using a complex business case. Implementing microservices is our next topic. As we know, microservices are implementation language agnostic. That means each microservice can be implemented in a different language to get maximum benefit. This workshop covers techniques to choose from various languages such as Go, Python, C#, Java, JavaScript, etc. Next is microservice design. Identifying appropriate microservices is a big challenge. We cover techniques such as team structures, security, technology, tangle dependencies, etc. to come up with appropriate microservices from a monolith. Microservices integration. In microservices architecture, independent computing elements work together to get some job done. So we need effective communication among the microservices. In this workshop, we talk about various communication protocols such as HTTP, RMI, Thrift, and Protobuf, etc. and their pros and cons. Microservices patterns are an important technique to come up with effective microservices design. This workshop covers the microservices patterns such as timeout, circuit breaker, bulkhead, API gateway, etc. Performance is one of the big topics in this workshop. Performance is a critical success factor for any application. As an architect, this is an area of major concern to you. This workshop covers enough about performance from architecture perspective. We start by understanding the fundamental terminology such as responsiveness, throughput, turnaround time, etc. Next, we understand the important topic of load zones. This you need to understand to be able to do load testing appropriately and subsequently do capacity planning and choose right cloud instances for your environment. Next, we talk about some performance improvement techniques. These are architecturally significant techniques that address major performance issues. These techniques span across multiple tiers such as web tier, business tier, and database tier. Troubleshooting techniques. Often the performance issues get too complex. We won't be able to fix them using one tool or the other. In this workshop, we talk about some troubleshooting techniques that allow you to fix these system-wide problems And these techniques also allow you to choose appropriate cloud instances, such as whether compute intensive or memory intensive or storage intensive. Next topic is cloud architecture. We start the section by understanding what cloud computing is all about. This section elaborates on different types of cloud service models such as IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS. And when do we use each of these models, the fundamental services each of these models offer, and pros and cons of each of these models. Next topic is security. Security is a vast and challenging topic. Often it is addressed in bits and pieces. In this workshop, we talk about security in a holistic manner. The topics that we primarily focus in this workshop include sensitive resources, threats, policies, cryptography, digital signatures, and digital certificates. Database architecture. Our focus would be on selecting right database for the given data. Nowadays, any enterprise has different types of data such as logging, transactional catalogs, recommendations, etc. For each type of this data, we need a different storage mechanism such as RDBMS document databases, columnar databases, graph databases, etc. This section discusses various databases and their characteristics such as data locality, supported relations such as many-to-many and many-to-one, etc., and performance, scalability, data access patterns. We take up an example and identify the suitable databases for different types of data such as events, catalogs, purchase orders, and recommendations, etc.